Okay, we're going to open data extract. Okay, so go into do file open. This is not a data connection, but it is a data extract that was prepared from a data Excel file earlier.
Computed set.
TDE, computed set TYD2 dot TDE. So this is a Tableau data extract. So this is in Tableau format. So you do file open for this, not a connection. Okay. So you open that. So then we have the file. So let's look at the field names. So here we have demographic data by country and country year. Okay. So if you click sheet 1, then you have these are the dimensions that are available, and you notice that the measures are grouped into categories. Okay. So if you click the greater than sign here, that will open up and show you what are the measures under that category. So we'll look at how to create those categories a little later. Okay. So for each of these country and year combination, we have this bunch of data that is available, and to understand how to create computed set, what we're going to do is to start with creating visualization first. Infant mortality, columns, health expenditure per capita. Okay. And suppose we want to filter the year data to just 2010, okay, 2010. Okay. So now it's all aggregated to one single point. Let's say we bring in region into color. Okay, so those are the regions. And we bring in country into label. Then we have the infant mortality rate and healthcare expenditure per capita plotted as a scatter plot. Okay, so now we have 23 null values. Yeah. So we can filter them out by clicking on that pill. Just filter the data out, so we don't see that. Okay. So now let's assume that we look at this and then say, all right, there are some countries with very low infant mortality rate, but very high healthcare per capita expenditure. Okay. But there are also these bunch of countries here with relatively low mortality rate as well as low healthcare expenditure. So what's going on here? We want to study this portion, okay, more closely, for example. Okay. So of course one way of looking at these points more closely is to create an ad hoc set. But let's say that we don't want an ad hoc set, but we want to create a set using formulas. Okay. And so we can look at the low birth mortality and low healthcare expenditure by using filters, right? So we can say, all right, infant mortality rate. So I'm going to put that in the filter, and we'll filter. Okay, this is going to be for just 1 year, so sum average, they all will be the same thing, and say utmost, all right, 0.01. Okay, so now that removes all marks with more than 1% mortality rate, so it's gone, right? Then we can use per capita health expense, put that there. All right. So once again, this is just for year 2010, so some will work. And again, suppose we want to look at the low per capita expense countries, so we say at most $1,000. Okay. So now we have the set, and we can then analyze. Okay. But this is going to last only in this worksheet. This is not going to be, suppose if you want to look at different visualizations and use this set of observations in other places, and also if you want to control, okay, what if you want to give the user the opportunity to change these numbers? Instead of 1%, we want to look at 2%. Instead of $1,000, we want to look at $1,500 or something like that. Okay, those you can do with parameters, but to be able to use parameters to control that, you have to first see how to create these sets, okay, using formulas rather than manually figuring it out. So is there a calculated field way to create these sets? Okay, so for that, what we're going to do, what we're going to need is this. This is already there. I don't know how it. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so there is country. So country here is already there. But in the notes you'll see that we are creating it, because originally it was not there, and I think when I made the TDE file I didn't leave it out, so it's already there. So if it's not there, then you know how to do it, right? We have done this before, country name, and then you add. So let me go over that. So if you want to create a new field called year and country, or country and year, then you'll start with the country. Okay, so that is a field, and then you want to concatenate the year information to it. So concatenation is done with a plus sign, and then you say you want a hyphen like that, and then the year. Okay. But the problem with year is this year is a calendar dimension. Okay, but country is a string. Okay, country is yeah, this is a string. Okay, a global, it has global role, but it is a string. So you have to convert the calendar should be converted into a year. So you have to first use the year function. Okay, because this field has the values are like January 15, 2010. So it's a full date field. The field contains full date. So it has to be first converted into year. Of course, I have to have a press there. Okay. But then now this is not a string, so this needs to be converted to a string, and the function for that is str. Okay. So then the calculation is valid. Okay. So now we have country year combination, which we already have there, but if you don't have it, then this is how you will create that column. Okay. So once you have that, then okay. So now you click the down arrow, create, and create a set. Okay. Now when you click create a set, then you can use the three options. Okay, it gives you the entire list. You can select by clicking these boxes, or you can set up a condition, or you can say I want the top 50 or top 25 or whatever. Okay, but what we want to do is to select the low infant mortality records and low healthcare expense records. So we have to select condition, and then you click by field and select the field that you want, which is infant mortality rate. Okay, and we want by formula. Okay. Wait. Oh, I'm on top. Okay. So I should be in condition tab. Okay. So by field, infant mortality rate, and then here I have to say less than 0.01. Okay. So less than 1%. Okay. So let's give a name here. So infant mortality less than 1%. So now click OK. So now we have a new set, infant mortality less than 1%. Right? Okay, so let's do one more. So use the same dimension, say create a set, because we not only want to look at low infant mortality, but we want to look at low healthcare expense. Okay. So again, condition, and the by field is healthcare per capita, so less than $1,000. Right. So here the health expense per capita less than 1,000. Right. So now we have one set that is low healthcare expense. We have another set that is low infant mortality. But what we want is the intersection of this. We want both conditions to be true. So what we have to do is create a combined set. Click, so you can do this with either of the two sets. Create combined set. Okay. So now we have healthcare expense per capita Let's bring in infant mortality. So if you want both of these conditions to be true, which of these four possible options that we have to select? That one. So if you select that, then only those records that satisfy both conditions will get selected. So let's low infant mortality and low per capita expense. Okay, so now we have created the set, then we can